Welcome in, everyone. I am absolutely thrilled you're here today. Look, I want you to think of this explainer as less of a presentation and way more like a one-on-one personal coaching session. Just you and me. We're going to hold a mirror right up to your current life satisfaction, drawing on some truly phenomenal insights from Andrew Donovan's book, Motivate Yourself. If you've ever felt like you're just going through the motions, or maybe you're standing on the edge wanting something more but you just can't quite grasp it, well, you are in the exact right place. So let's dive right in.
Okay, I really want you to just pause for a second and let this quote sink in. Steve Jobs once said, "I have looked in the mirror every morning and asked myself, if today were the last day of my life, would I want to do what I am about to do today?" And here's the kicker. He said if the answer has been no for too many days in a row, he knew he needed a change. That is a heavy, deeply introspective thought, isn't it? It forces us to literally strip away all the daily noise and look right at the absolute core of our choices.
And honestly, that brings us to this ultimate existential question. Three super simple words. Is this it? But I gotta ask you, where do you place the emphasis when you say this out loud? Are you looking at your life with disappointment, kind of shrugging your shoulders and asking, is this it? Really questioning the quality of your existence? Or do you wake up totally pumped, realizing there's literally no time like the present, and exclaim, this is it, celebrating where you are? How you read those three words, it tells you exactly how you feel about your life right now. To help you get to that celebratory, this is it, here is our quick roadmap for today's explainer. First, asking that big question. Second, finding your current life category. Third, we'll explore living in the gap. Fourth, we'll look at the 5 regrets of the dying. And finally, taking back your life.
All right, kicking things off with section 1, asking, is this it, and reevaluating your present life. Now, what's really fascinating here is the core truth behind this stuck feeling. In Andrew Donovan's 25 years of experience, and we're talking working with thousands of people across more than 20 countries, she found one massive commonality. Countless individuals absolutely sell themselves short. They have this diminished perspective of who they are. See, before Donovan was this world-renowned facilitator, she was an English teacher in tough inner-city schools, where kids were actually put in sin bins and told they were worthless. And she learned early on that when people, whether they are teenagers or top-level CEOs, are repeatedly told they're limited, well, they start to believe it. They drastically underestimate what's actually possible for them. Moving on to section 2, finding your current category and figuring out exactly where you stand. So Donovan identifies 5 main categories of people here. Take a look and see which one sounds familiar. Category 1, you know what you want, but you're waiting for future circumstances to happen before you can actually be happy. You know, the classic, I'll be happy when I get that promotion. Category 2, you know what you'd like, but you feel like you lack the confidence or the resources to do it. Category 3, you don't actually know what you want, you only know what you don't want. Category 4, you've totally lost sight of what's possible. You're disengaged, kind of resigned to mediocrity. Or category 5, you know what you want, you're going for it, but you're constantly hampered by negative internal thoughts. So which one are you? Look, feeling stuck in literally any of these is a universally human experience, but pinpointing where you stand, that's the only way we're going to move forward. Which brings us to section 3, living in the gap, that uncomfortable space between right now and where you want to be. This gap is that awkward, unexpressed space where you hide your true self. And these are the hard-hitting symptoms of living in it. I want you to read through these with me and keep a mental tally, okay? How many are you answering yes to? Do you hide a part of yourself for fear of judgment? Are you constantly waiting for the future to be happy? Do you hear those internal voices telling you you're unworthy? Do you find yourself withdrawing, waking up exhausted, maybe just wishing the day was over? Do you absolutely hate your commute? Do you feel unappreciated by your boss or maybe your spouse? And wow, perhaps saddest of all, can you even remember the last time you had a real deep belly laugh and felt pure joy? So how many yeses did you get? Because the more yeses you have, the bigger the gap we need to close. But hey, here is the incredibly good news. Closing this gap, it's absolutely possible. As this quote brilliantly puts it, the best things in life are free, but are only available to anyone who has the intention, desire, and vision to see beyond their limitations. Think about it. As kids, we start out as these positive, wide-eyed beings. We aren't stressing over success or failure. But over time, we build up this armor-plated coating to shield us from criticism. To close the gap, you've got to strip away those labels. You have to connect back to your deepest values and find the intention to see right past those limitations you've built up.
Let's look at section 4, the 5 regrets of the dying, the ultimate consequences of inaction.
Now, back in 2013, a palliative care nurse named Bronnie Ware conducted this fascinating, honestly heartbreaking study. She spent time with patients in their final dying days, and she polled them. She wanted to uncover their absolute biggest life regrets, with the hope that those of us who still have time might actually learn from them. I want to slowly and deliberately read these 5 regrets with you. Number 1, not having the courage to live a life true to yourself, but living what others expected of you instead. 2, neglecting those closest to you or taking them for granted because you were working way too hard. 3, not having the courage to express your true feelings, keeping them shoved down just to keep the peace. 4, failure to stay in touch with supporting friends. And 5, not allowing yourself to be happier. You know, happiness is a choice, and so many of these patients realized way too late that they stayed stuck in habitual misery. I really want you to look at this list and confront a tough reality here. Are you currently on track to make these exact same mistakes? All right, section 5, taking back your life, because everything starts with a decision.
Okay, let's all take a deep breath here, because listen, you are not on your deathbed. You are here, right now, watching this explainer, which means you have time. The absolutely crucial point is this: transforming your life is not time-related. You do not need to wait for the perfect moment or the perfect financial situation or January 1st to roll around. Change requires a single, radical decision to step into the driver's seat. It requires a strong yearning to have things be different, followed by bold action.
I absolutely love this quote from Jimmy Dean to illustrate this mindset. I can't change the direction of the wind, but I can adjust my sails to always reach my destination. It's so true, right? You cannot control the economy, you can't control other people's opinions, and you certainly can't change the past. But you have total, undeniable authority over your own actions, your own sails, and your own mindset, starting right now.
And that flows perfectly into this brilliant thought from Nido Qubein. Your present circumstances don't determine where you can go, they merely determine where you start. Listen to me, if you are completely stagnant today, if you literally answered yes to every single symptom of living in the gap we talked about earlier, that is okay. That is just your starting line. Today's stagnation, it's just the launch pad for your new, purposeful life. So as we wrap up today's explainer, I want to leave you looking squarely at this question. Which regret do you struggle with most right now? What is the single biggest hurdle keeping you stuck in that gap? I want you to identify it, name it, and today consciously choose to change your trajectory. Seriously, don't wait for the perfect moment. Adjust your sails right now. Thank you so much for joining me today. I challenge you to make the decision to live a life true to yourself. Until next time, keep learning and keep growing.